What's good, guys? This is Map to Success back again with another video. It's the New Year's, it's 2020. I know I've been away for a minute, but I have like one of the most requested interviewees I could possibly
Oh, thank
find.
you. That's a big
Uh,
compliment and a little bit of pressure.
Laura Taylor. Take it away, Laura.
Hey, everybody.
All right. How's it been going?
It's been
Oh my gosh.
it's been going good. It's been a busy since the last time we talked. It's been really busy. We've had a lot of fun stuff going on in DigiWorld. And yeah, we're growing every day. It feels exponential. I hope that's not anecdotal, but it feels that way.
I know, right? And it just seems like all the developments that's been happening is just compiled on top of each other, and it's just going all the way to a different like atmosphere. It is just
Yeah,
astronomical.
you can
Just
feel it, right?
yeah.
Where it's we've always had, since I've been since I first joined the project, one of the reasons why I joined it was because the community was so strong and active. And but after 2 years, it's become something else completely, where it's growing itself now, where you've got people just taking the initiative and just like making comic strips, or Blaze making like 1,000 memes. I really love them all, by the way. It's a first world problem for me to have to pick which meme I like the best, but he has one for every occasion, which is so
Oh
great for
wow.
me.
That is so
Um,
cool.
so we have people who are just like, they're really just taking their passions, and they're really kind of just pouring that in, and filling out any holes that they see that their passions can fill. They're just doing that. And so it's just been really exciting to watch. And the awareness team is, we're kind of a support structure for those people, and either helping fund what they're trying to work on, or cheering them on, or helping them market what they're working on. That's it's fun to be involved in that.
Nice, nice. So I know we've been talking about a lot of stuff like behind the scenes, sharing stuff that's like what we think that stuff should actually be like in the future. And a couple of stuff that we share, different ideas and standpoints of what we would like to see, to be like targeted and approach more and bring to the forefront so people could actually understand what this community is all about a lot more, or more so like shedding a bit more light on the situation so people could actually, and get enlightened about what the project really has to offer in terms of like getting educated in how certain apps work that are built on top of the layers that it's actually been in current development and is still actually in active, getting updates like on the regular. And it's something that it's good for the masses to grasp like at least a basic knowledge of what it is that you guys do, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, I had a friend of mine who, he's my devil's advocate. I mean, I love him, but he's such a pain in my ass, because he always will call me, and because he's on the outside looking in. He's like, and he's a business guy. He's like, Laura, blah, blah. Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
always giving
gosh.
me. So, but one of the complaints that he said, he was like, Laura, the problem with DigiByte is that it doesn't know what it wants to be, and it's confusing. And you've got too many. You've got to focus. You guys are spread out into so many different areas. And I said, what you're really saying is, the problem with DigiByte is that it's the solution to too many problems, and that's a first world problem.
Mm.
Like, we have too many solutions. We could be money, we could be an asset, we can be a security feature for login ID, for password generating. So we have a lot of different things that we, the protocol has a lot it can do, and he's right in that way. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to get better about basically compartmentalizing teams on those, and then pushing that forward. And that doesn't happen overnight when you talk about a global decentralized group of people that are all volunteering. So it's taken us 2 years to really get I think, our feet up underneath us and get that global view of what do we need, how can we get it. And I think we're getting, every day we're getting better and stronger, more organized. So, but yeah, so we have a business development team that reaches out to businesses and exchanges, but we also have a social media team that's just trying to bring people in and make it fun and engaging, to get them curious, so it doesn't seem so nerdy and scary. uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we've got some long range goals that we want to do, but part of that is just being organized, because we are so multifaceted as an application, that it can seem like we're scattered. It's not that we're scattered, it's just that we have a wide range solution set. And so we're just bringing on team members that can help us target those different areas, like, and people in the community are targeting those different areas, like you're targeting those areas, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're reaching out to businesses, and so we're
Yep.
getting there. It doesn't start overnight, so I shut them up pretty quick though.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
I love
something.
you, Jason.
It's something that I haven't particularly shared with the whole entire cryptosphere public in general. Like, I'm actually working on getting solutions to businesses that are actually looking to scale. So what we're actually working on is something where we could set up consultations with companies that want to have onboard cross-border payments. And not only in addition to that, but to have layered security by means of login for the employees, for their HR management resource teams, and even down to their very cell phone devices that they carry around in their pockets. Like,
Hmm.
we're basically trying to help people secure their whole entire life,
Hmm.
where they could have something that they know that they could trust, and something that they could actually stand behind.
And the reason they can trust, when it comes to, like, let's say Digi-Id, the reason they can trust that is because it's not dependent on a third person. It's dependent on a code that's been tested. And so that's, I think that's the nice thing. I think we've all been so burned by a third party at some point in time in our lives, that when somebody says, they offer something for you, I mean, I'm one of those people who's very wary. I'm like, well, where's my data going? Where's my data? What server is it on? How
Yeah,
safe, how secure is that server? And who
yeah,
controls it? It's like we need to start asking those type of questions. I mean, they're not, and sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's in a secure place and everything's okay. But I think it's fair to at least ask those kind of questions. And that's the nice thing about Digi-Id is, you're not putting it on a server. You're not putting your information on a server somewhere, and it's not in the hands of a third party. Um, so that's a pretty it's a pretty important aspect of it.
yeah. It definitely is, because it's like security is so important in so many different levels. Because
Hmm.
I have, of course, from people that have watched my current interviews and in the past, and all the different guests that I've had on the show, it's basically they know what it is that I do. I go out and I educate people by means of drive-in, ride share, and
You
whoever
do
I
a
come
great
across.
job with that too, by the way. You do a really good job with that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I actually try my best. I
Well,
really do.
I'll say this, you can tell you enjoy it. You can tell that you enjoy what you're doing. And, when you do your Twitter posts and stuff, and that's one of the things that excites me about this community, to know that, it has sustainability, is because the people who are doing the different work that they are doing for this chain are doing that work because that's the work they enjoy to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's their passion work. And so when you are following that, inner voice, and that you're following that passion work, it makes you so, you're not, no one's making you do it, you're doing it because you want to do it, and it makes you so much more likely to be successful. And so when you are working with thousands of people all over the world who are working through their passion on the same project, they're more likely to be successful. And I think that's why I'm so bullish on DigiByte as a community as a whole, because that's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing like, oh, I mean, other than me, Jim constantly making me try to write articles and edit articles. I'm like, I hate writing. That's my,
Oh
I'm like, you
boy.
know, and so he's, I mean, I complain when he's like, Laura, will you write an article? I'm like, you know, I don't, but we're finding more people who want to write, who that's their passion and they really enjoy that medium and then they do such a good job. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a writer, so but sometimes we just have to, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes we just have to get some
Yeah.
stuff done.
Yeah.
So
You just
most
have to
people
do it.
are, you know, following their passion. No one's saying someone has to do something or you know, they're gonna get fired. That's the nice thing too. It's like, you know, what are you gonna do? Fire me? Um, yeah, good luck.
Oh boy. You can't fire decentralized, right?
You can't fire decentralized. It's like, oh, I'll lose all my health benefits.
Oh
Um,
boy.
so, but no, so that freedom of volunteerism that allows us to follow that passion is, I think, our biggest strength. And that's why I'm so passionate about this technology in general, is the openness that people can come in and say, you know, I want to make a comic strip. I'm an artist, and they can come in, they can do that, and they can give that passion to the project, and then we can all help them spread that awareness. And so we're just helping each other grow, and people are finding new careers out of this. You know, people are, you know, having, you know, they're in their mind, they're like, okay, I can start up a business within this ecosystem. So I think that's going to be the really exciting thing to watch, because I feel that that energy turning. um, not just, it has nothing to do with market price, which is another thing that I kind of really love, is the big workers and in the community really, they don't, I mean, price would be nice for a lot of reasons, but that's not, they're not motivated by it right now. That's, they're, because they know that it will come eventually, as long as, you know, we have the use cases in place and we have the awareness and education.
Okay, yeah, that makes total sense because um, I think that's one of the things that we need a lot more in the blockchain space. Basically, people that are just passionate about education, just want to educate the masses and teach people more so they could actually learn more and grow more in something that they might have possibly not even know was possible.
Exactly. Well, and then that's what the Seed Card Initiative really is, that Red Cat Life started. And she has a website up now, which is really fantastic. And she's just been, honestly, she's just been kicking ass. There's no words. And she inspired the Seed Card Initiative, where you drop a, you know, a little, I have a card somewhere. It's my wallet. Hold on. I'll go get it and show it to you. Hold on. I'll
Yeah,
be right back. Is that okay? I'll be right
yeah,
back.
yeah, definitely, definitely. All right.
Sorry, quick commercial break. And I ordered these from Crypto Bantam. Um, and so they're little seed cards that she came up with, that, you know, you can make your seed card be whatever
Oh,
you want. I think that I think Litecoin Fam, Patrick, I think
nice.
he designed these. I can't remember. There's so many
Hmm,
people working on it.
that's
But the
pretty good.
QR code, you know, will take you to those, will take you to the app store for the wallets, and our information, like our websites, are on there for the awareness team and for the main website. And it's just a matter of getting people educated. Say, hey, get curious. I want people to. I don't care if people buy DigiByte. I really don't. I mean, it's up to, that is such a intimate decision that you have to make based on all the variables in your own life. So it's really hard
Yep.
for me to say, you know, you should buy it or not. But I want people to get curious, because as a teacher, I teach college math, and I'll tell you, when it comes to for the whole class to learn something, for the whole class to get something, it's the questions that the students ask that make the learning happen. And so I want more people to come into this space and be curious and start asking questions. Because the more questions they ask and the more questions that we answer, we're actually getting smarter, right? So
Yep.
we're becoming a stronger, more educated community with every person who gets curious. And so when I see you doing, is it Uber or Lyft that you do?
Actually, I do
You
both.
both? Okay.
Yeah, I do both.
So so I saw, I saw you did a video with, is it James, the guy in your
Yes,
car?
yes,
Yeah. And
yeah,
and it's just, being able to talk to people about this, you become more educated every single time you explain it,
yeah,
and so yeah, it's an exciting project to see growing, kind of out of its infancy into its adolescence, and then hopefully we'll bring it into adulthood.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And by speaking of James, that young gentleman, I am definitely going to be having him on the show
Oh, nice.
sometime soon. He is very, very knowledgeable.
So
He
what's his
really,
background? Well, I mean, like, well, can we talk about that? Like, I'm just kind of,
yeah,
I was curious about that when you posted it.
yeah. He actually is a DJ.
Oh,
That's
cool.
yeah, he's a DJ. So he was telling me about the different gigs that he got, and packing up equipment and being in like sub-zero temperatures trying to pack up stuff to put in the car, which isn't that fun. But he really is knowledgeable. He is very knowledgeable about
He
the
should
space.
put a wallet. He should put a wallet address on top in front of his equipment. People could tip him.
Yeah, he really could. And that's one of the things that makes this so innovative, that
Mhm.
it's like you come up with new concepts for new different ideas like on the daily every day.
Oh yeah, it's
And
just
it's
constant.
yeah, and it's almost like every other day you think of something new and you're
Mhm.
like, but what if we did this? And maybe like, flip this the other way around and, just like or maybe we put the logo on this side, but, I
Oh,
see
there's
that
always
all day. I
there's
see that all day, every day. Trust me. It's like, it's ongoing. It's ongoing every day.
yeah, I mean, honestly, you're an Uber and Lyft driver. You should have, do you have a wallet on your car? Like people, because I think you just never know who's in the car with you. It might be somebody who's like already into Digibyte. It's like, what is that, Digibyte wallet address or Litecoin or whatever? And just be like, okay, I'll send some to you. I mean, because we're really, I see us creating, slowly creating a parallel economy system to the legacy system. And it
Yeah.
starts small with, I can, buy a t-shirt from my friend with Digibyte or Litecoin or
Yeah.
Bitcoin. Like, it's, the more services that we can do, through cryptocurrency exchanges, I think it's always good to have options, and having a parallel system is a really good, I think it's a good idea to have a backup system. And I think we're building that now. And I just had heard about, was that the IMF? No, Sweden. So one of them was, they're starting they're like a sovereign digital currency.
Oh,
And they were
really?
like, well, someone said, well, what do you think about that? And I was like, I think the only thing more dangerous than fiat is digital fiat. I think we have to be
Mm,
very careful about, for the sake of convenience, having digital money and thinking it's the same thing as a cryptocurrency.
no,
And they're very,
it's
very different. And
yeah,
part of our education process is to educate people, because Bitcoin is, in the news a lot, and people are like, oh, a digital currency. So this is like Bitcoin. You got to really,
yeah.
you've got to really
It could
make
be,
sure you understand the difference of, how is that currency generated?
yeah.
That's very, very important.
If it's
And
pre-mined,
who ultimately can control it, who can shut it down.
exactly, exactly.
Those are very important questions that people just really did. I didn't have even the thought to know we could even ask those kind of questions. I thought, when I was completely 100% in the legacy system,
Yeah,
and I don't think that the world, fiat does not have long in this world left. I don't think.
yeah,
The
definitely
writing is
not.
on the wall there.
Definitely not. Not with
Not in the same form.
not with China doing what it is that they do.
Well,
Because of course,
there's a lot going on economically that, it's hard to get good information. It's hard to get straight information. And that's one of the reasons why I like these open source protocols as a currency, because, you like what, I don't know I'm not as involved with the other communities I am with DigiByte, so I don't know if they have the same thing, but our community is so open that you can go on Telegram and you can see what the developers are talking about. You can see what the miners are working on. You can see, you can see the transparency of a lot of things that are going on, and you've got a lot of support. And I don't see, that's, to me, makes me feel more confident in this as a monetary system, as well as, it can do other things, but just as that aspect, as a point of sale, I think it will grow.
Yeah, it definitely will. And just imagine how excited people feel when I take them on a ride and they go on a journey where I explain something to them that completely blows their mind, where they literally just it goes like from 0 to 100 in like 10 seconds. And then, and then they're like, wait, what? You telling me so you could send something from point A to point B without a middleman? We're talking about not a Western Union, a MoneyGram, a Zoom, none of those. And we don't need a middleman or a central authority, and we could send as much money as we want to that person, and
For almost nothing.
for almost nothing. That is insane.
It's freedom is what it is, and it's insane because we've never felt it before.
Exactly. And then people look at it like, well, why aren't you featured in one of these Black History Month posters? Like, where were you? I'm like, hey, I've been here working. I've been working. That's all I've been doing.
You will be. You'll be in one of those posters one day, Sugar. I have no doubt about it.
Oh my gosh, it's like it's so many developments, it's so many different things that we're working on. And guys, if you really want to see what we're working on, stay tuned to the videos because it will get exciting, a lot more exciting than it is right now. Trust me. When stuff starts unfolding, you'll start seeing the pieces of the puzzle coming together slowly, and you'll slowly start understanding what it is that we're doing.
Yeah, and and that's a really good point too. It's like, really watch what's going on. Like, really, find people that you want to, that you follow on Twitter, like see what they're working on. And like, we've got the seed card initiative. We've got exchange listings coming out all the time, like business integrations and things like that. So, that's happening with people making assets and, securing them on the blockchain. Um, we had a newsletter last year that we try to do every month, and it's hard to kind of keep, everybody's doing everything all the time. So we have and Jen was trying to get me to do the newsletter. I'm the worst writer. I'm like, please don't make me do the newsletter. And so we did have a volunteer who said he would pick up the newsletter, and so he's working on that. So we're going to have the newsletter back, which is nice because it has everything in one place. But we're
Nice.
constantly trying to get updates and news out there, either through Blockfolio, through our DigiByte main channel. Josiah is always giving updates. So there
Mhm.
are people you can follow, channels you can follow, and if there's something you want to know and you don't see the information, just ask. I mean, our community is so excited to help people, and we're a knowledgeable community, and know where to send people if they want specific information, because it can be overwhelming. And so, if you don't see what you're looking for, just ask, and
Yeah.
you'll get 5 answers in 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like from a standpoint of funding business, for example. Like look at this guy with the Digi SC farm, like
Hmm.
the shrimp and the crab farm from like I think he's somewhere in Asia, I believe, something like that,
I think
somewhere
the
in the east, in
Philippines,
the Philippines. Yeah,
I
and
think.
that guy is doing an incredible job with what it is that he got, and he literally has like he has a whole entire community that he's built right now where people are just like flooding to him. Like he has a large following that they keep updates with everything and everything that's being done,
Hmm.
totally transparent. As far as what I could tell, he's basically he broke like a boundary that a lot of people were really fearful of.
Yeah,
St-
I think we've got a lot of kind of, I would call these guys pioneers. You know, they're just, you know, they're the first to use something, they're the first to try it. And I have a lot of respect for pioneers because I'm not that brave. You know, I'm definitely not, I wouldn't call myself a pioneer. And when it comes to assets, you know, there's stuff, you know, this is completely uncharted territory, which has a lot of questions that come along with that, especially with assets. It's, you know, because it's different than just a currency. And one of the things that the awareness team, as you know, we're building out and looking at use cases, and we have a lawyer on our team. We actually have two lawyers on the core awareness team, and you know, they have been looking at it, and you know, they're like, we need to really bring in an expert here to answer some of these questions about, you know, assets, how they're used, and any legal, you know, ramifications. And
Mhm.
because it is a wide, you know, it's just you can use assets for, you know, fundraising. You can also use assets as like SC did. You can use assets like Amanda's doing, to, you know, to basically make trading cards. You know, there's a lot, you know, there's a lot you can
Yeah.
do with those. And so one of the things that we're working on is trying to find a lawyer that is knowledgeable enough in blockchain and in security law and in that realm, that we can ask some questions, get some consulting, and then ultimately we'd like to host an AMA for the community to be able to ask those questions, you know. And
Yeah.
so that's one of our long-term goals, is just, again, trying to get tools in the hands of the community and then let them implement those tools.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
not to tell people
Definitely.
what to build with the tools, just to say, here are the tools, here's the support, you know, good luck.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
you know, good, you know, do your, you know, live your passion, go, you know, you dream that dream, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because it's like it's so many different individuals that makes all of these moving pieces tick. And it's just so exciting to see it on the daily. Like
Hmm.
even this one young lady from the Netherlands, Demi
Demi, oh my God,
DB,
I love Demi so
like
much. She's the best.
that is like one of my go-to personnels when it comes to designs,
Yeah,
and I
she's good.
definitely have to shout I definitely have to shout her out on this video,
Yeah,
like
she's amazing.
personally. Like she is amazing. Like, have you seen her latest design with the flags?
I flipped when I saw that. I haven't ordered my, I told her, I was like, I'll order a sweatshirt. And then I've just been so busy. I'm like, I got to get my sweatshirt ordered. Now I'm like, okay, now I got to get a sweatshirt and a t-shirt, because that t-shirt design is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Like
It was phenomenal.
we actually came up with that design together, believe it or
Oh, that's awesome.
not. Like we actually incorporated that in like so many different areas, because we were talking about it one day and we were like, what if we actually did this, where we have a flag on one side and we have our favorite currency on the other side, representing the currency we love with the country that we're from. And it basically spiraled into something that is like totally phenomenal. Like it
I
was
love, I love that.
amazing.
And you can feel the energy. It's like when you see something, like you, like kind of going back to the passion. It's like you guys are just, you know, you're just kind of, you're igniting your passions, and you can feel it. Like when you see it, you're like, somebody really loved what they were doing when they made that,
Yeah,
you know?
because we could have a DigiByte American flag, we could have a Litecoin American flag, a Bitcoin
Sure.
American flag. It's like so many different areas that we could really like, grow and develop in, and just show people what we love and what our passions are truly about. Because it's like, I tell anybody, of course, anybody that knows what I represent, it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte. Like those are like the big trio. That's like you cannot go wrong with trying to educate people on those, because it will be very, very useful in the future.
Right.
It's already proven.
And I think, you know, I think you also make a really good point, is that, you know, even though everybody thinks I'm like the, you know, like a Digibyte purist, I'm not a Digibyte purist. I mean, this is the project I decided to devote my majority of my time to. Doesn't mean that I don't think other projects are fantastic. I had to make a decision whether I was going to, spread myself out a little bit across a lot of projects or dedicate majority of my time to one. And so that was the decision I made. And but I support, anybody who is trying to give people the freedom of choice of money. And like you said, that first time you send it and you realize that I bought something in my bank. I mean, other than I had to use my bank to load up my initial amount, but my bank had nothing to do. It couldn't stop me from buying something. It couldn't stop me from withdrawing. That's really important. That freedom, and I think that yeah, I think any currency that encourages that self-sovereignty is something that I'll support.
Yeah, definitely. Because one of my next initial initiative that I really was thinking about doing is having like one of my treasures that I have riding around with, and I could just show it to individuals like, hey, look at this. Like, would you actually believe me if I told you this was a wallet and you could save an enormous amount of money, an enormous amount of wealth on this little tiny piece of device that looks like a USB drive?
My only word of caution to you, sweetie, just because I love you, I would say also to them, this doesn't have any money on it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Just like,
No.
don't pull out your wallet.
Oh no. Oh no. That would definitely be for testing purposes. And I
Okay.
would tell them like, look, this money is legitimately so safe that even if you rob me, you still can't have it.
Well,
Because
yeah, but
if
let's not
you don't
tempt
have,
them.
but if
Don't
you,
have that conversation
yeah,
in your car
but
with a stranger,
but
please.
but if
I
you
won't
don't,
sleep at
no,
night.
no, I won't do that. I'm just playing with you.
I
But
won't sleep at
seriously though, like it will be like something where even like for instance, like at a presentation, like you could actually, you could show like
Oh,
a
sure.
group of people something like that and show
Yeah,
them like, look, this is really the piece of technology that we have, and this is what we could really use to store our wealth. This is
yeah,
literally like the way that we could actually be our own banks. This is the way of the future.
right.
And this is one piece of technology that is not only groundbreaking, but is a working product that is being used right now.
Exactly. It's being used right now, and that's the most important part right now. And every use case that we get, um, it just makes the whole thing stronger. So I mean, that's you know the problem with DigiByte is we just have so many possible use cases.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
such a
It
first world
is.
problem. I hate to even
It,
complain about it,
it,
but
it, it is. It
so it's
is.
hard to prioritize like what do you focus on, and that's why having a large community that's diverse, you can some people will focus on Digi-Id, some people are focusing on awareness, some people are focusing on assets, some people are kind of got their hand in everything, but so you've kind of got this just a lot of different areas that people can focus on and then take their skills and just run with it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because
So
I mean, and another thing too, it's like a lot of people might not even know also that I'm actually a student of Google and a student of their IT tech support. You know, a business course that they actually do offer, that they teach students to actually excel in the field of IT. And especially if you actually have a passion for it, you really can, like, you can overcome a lot of fear and stuff that you think that you couldn't do. Like, you could really actually do it. And it's not only just that, just to say that, but the thing is, the main goal is they actually have something to offer. They have a name that they have being backed by for years on top of years. I would like to see other digital assets, particularly, Bitcoin, Litecoin, DigiByte, and so forth, to have courses that are similar to that they could basically teach people to be like, okay, do you want to know or learn how a blockchain works, how layered solution is supposed to look like, what it is, so you could actually explain to people so they could understand it in simple terms. Because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, while we might have like a lot of like experience in like copy and paste and try to figure out what a chain reorg is and why this actually failed and how we could actually look up stuff on Block Explorer and copy, and you know what I mean, like that is like so highly technological that the common, everyday average Joe will look at like, wait, what
Right.
I
And
have to.
we don't want people to feel so overwhelmed when they come to this space that that we make them feel stupid. You know, I'm used to feeling stupid. I feel stupid every day because I work with developers who talk a different language than me. You know, I have one of my favorite gifts I use is just like, like I don't know. So, they have
Oh
very patient, but we don't want people to feel that way, that we don't want them to feel overwhelmed. And so, being able, organized education, definitely reducing the learning curve is important. The thing I love about, if we could do something that within our community is when you have that structured, organized education, is that not only do you have that, let's say a modular course based on, whatever you want to learn about, but then outside of that, you have a whole community of support that also, again, you got a question, we've got answers. You just have to ask, and everybody, I know, 2 years ago, it was really rough. I remember one time, being like, I think I asked just like a really, basic question. And someone was basically like, oh my God, you don't know that? And it really, I like just didn't get on Telegram for a couple days. And it was
oh, that's
it was just
rough.
like, and so I was scared to ask questions. And so I think that the maturity of the space has evolved now so that, when someone asks a question, people are respectful about the fact that they're asking the question, and they're like, okay, as long as they're asking nicely, they're not accusatory and they're not being negative, people are more than happy to, point them in the right direction. And I love the questions because it shows us, when we see like the same kind of questions over and over again, it shows us where we need to do better. If that's not
Yeah.
clear, like that's something that we can improve on. So the questions are a good thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it definitely is. And then it's like without the questions, there are no answers because, what are you going to tell people if they don't know what you're actually thinking?
yeah, so you really, I would encourage everyone, watching this. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're DigiByte, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Potcoin, whatever program you're, whatever protocol you're like getting interested in, just ask questions. And another asset that I think is really big too is Change Angel.
Oh, Change
They're have
Angel. They
right.
are they are amazing. They are
You're gonna
beyond
you need
amazing.
to get Ben on this show, Ben
Oh
from
yeah,
Change It. He
definitely.
is the funniest interviewer I've ever seen in my life. He is hilarious.
Yeah,
And
I should set him up next.
you
I
really
really,
should.
yeah,
You
I
really,
really
really,
should.
you need, because he's just like friggin' hilarious, man. I remember the first time I saw him, he was on Crypto Mentor 99, and he had just like kind of gotten into the community. And I just thought he was the funniest guy. I'm like, I can tell right away, you and me, we're gonna be besties.
Hey Ben, you heard that? Hey, hit me up.
Oh,
Hit
he
me up. Like
knows.
like
He knows.
we could share some stuff. Like
He's,
hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter.
but what those guys are building is, they're building that broader support structure for all these communities, for all these strong decentralized communities. And so that's another great place to go. And if you've got a question, you've got such, there's founders of these projects that are on the platform in their Telegram channel, and developers, and just a really wide mix of community leaders, and they're so excited to help anybody. And so if you
Mm,
go in there and you've got a question, I mean, it's just a really, really supportive community. I've never seen an open Telegram channel, other than advocates, honestly, other than our DigiByte Advocates channel, that really didn't need an admin.
mm.
Like people just Police are
Yeah.
just, you see
Yeah.
something weird, they're like, hey guys. But it's very rare. It's like the energy set in those channels are they're just really positive and definitely a collaborative problem solving effort. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another place I would say for newbies to come is to go to Change Angel, because they're just, I mean, we would have to do a whole episode on just what they are,
Oh yeah,
what they're
definitely.
doing. But
Definitely.
they're
Definitely.
they're having their birthday March 1st, right around the
Wow.
corner. Their
And
first birthday.
and we will definitely do our best to celebrate with them.
Maybe you should have them on for their birthday, and you guys can eat cake
That
together.
would be awesome. Ben, if you want to eat some cake, some change angel, you know,
Celebrate your
you,
Change
you,
Angel
you,
birthday.
you know what channel to hit up. I will be waiting, and we will definitely celebrate and have a good time, brother. Like
Oh
we
my
will
gosh, he
definitely
needs
do
he
it.
needs at least a bottle of champagne for.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh definitely,
Well, and
definitely.
Jen and Dean too, like, and that exchange was built from members of the awareness team. Like, they built it because they saw, what was lacking in the space. And really their development team is led by this guy Divyam, and he is, I mean, I think he's just a pure genius, and he's built the
Wow,
whole team. And they're just starting. I mean,
wow.
they're getting ready to have their fiat onboarding as well.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
nice. Nice.
so
So you
they're,
you heard it here first, guys. Like
yeah,
we're getting some stuff out there. Like you don't want to sleep on this channel
you don't
now. I
want to
tell
sleep
you.
on it. But
And
yeah,
one of the
they've got a lot going on in their roadmap. And the one thing about these guys, and not just because they're my friends that I support it, but I remember the first conversation. Jen and Dean saw something from an AMA, and they were like, we should probably make our own exchange. I mean, it was just like, so let's just do that. And so they take ideas and they make it happen. So when they say they put something on their roadmap, they'll make it happen.
wow,
And that's
that's
always
awesome.
exciting.
That's
It's
awesome.
exciting to see. A lot of the developers are all the same way. It's like, we want this done, it will be done. It
Yeah.
just takes some time and support and effort, but it will be done.
Yeah, this is like one thing that I actually go to when I do like whenever I have writers in the car and I try to show them how Digi-ID works. Like
Oh yeah,
the perfect example is to
perfect.
whip out that asset.
I
And
was
you
waiting. I was waiting for it. I was waiting. I was like,
Oh, it was like you should have saw that coming. We did. I just whip out that asset. I show them Change Angel, and I'm like, listen, this is how you actually use Digi-ID. And
mhm.
I
And the
am
first time you
in,
use Digi-ID is really exciting.
yeah,
You're just kind of like, wait, did that really just work? And it's the same way to me. Using Digi-ID is like using DigiByte as a currency. It's like, I remember the first time I used it, I'm like, wow, that's wild. It felt like freedom. And when you use Digi-ID, it feels like freedom. Logging into websites is one of the banes of my existence. And I just hate it. I feel like it's a soul sucking moment for me
yeah,
whenever I
it
have to
is,
log in. There's just something
especially,
about it. And
yep,
so that streamlined and knowing that it's more secure, because I mean, you can do some, like LastPass and all that, but I don't feel like
hmm,
that's more secure. It's still on a server somewhere. And
yeah,
I don't know the people who are protecting the server.
exactly,
So, this idea of not having to rely on the server it just got me really excited.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
Because the
yeah,
thing that
check
one
it
of the,
out.
yeah, it really is exciting. It really is exciting. Because it's like one of the thing is what really blows people's minds when I basically just open up the platform and I just input the 4-digit pin that I have.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I do. And then it just like boom, and then it just opens up. And
You're
then
like, wait, what?
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's literally the look on their faces. Like, wait, what just happened? I just like, I just logged in. It's like logged into what? I was like,
You are
there wasn't any password or anything. I was like, exactly.
right,
That's what we're solving.
right,
That's literally what it is that we're solving. And when
exactly.
it always goes back to companies that are trying to have their logins like they have them where they regenerate like every so often, like every
Hmm.
3 or 6 months. you have to automatically change your password because it just wipes it out the system
Right.
entirely. Why not, instead of doing that, going through the hassle with all your employees and everybody in their HR department, why not just implement the Digi-Id plugin
Right.
and just skip a step
It's
and
all
never.
free. It's 100% free. The ID, Digi-ID itself is a standalone app, iOS and Apple supported. So, there's really no reason. I really feel like, Change Angel, their whole philosophy is about supporting their customers, and empowering their customers. And I think that should be the business model for all businesses, and
Yeah.
the biggest way you can empower someone is with freedom and security, and they're doing both of that. And that was one of the reasons why they launched that exchange. They were the first exchange to use Digi-ID, and they basically built a use case for us.
Yeah,
Um, and so they're
exactly.
modeling, basically, I think they're modeling what a good business should do.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're
Because
respecting their customers.
exactly. Because just imagine like having your business with this logo put on the side of it, like powered by DigiByte.
Sure. And that's the thing too. It's like, it's an option. It's just give people an option. Like, you don't have to say that's the only way you can log in. Just put it in there as an option. Why wouldn't you respect people's right to choose?
Yeah, exactly.
Why respect people's right to choose security?
Yeah, exactly. Why not? Because I'm like, if you're gonna live a total decentralized life, why narrow your options down? You should have a wide spectrum of what it is that you would prefer.
Mm-hmm.
You really should. Because in a sense, like if you really want to be truly decentralized, you shouldn't have just like one or two options. It should be a plethora of stuff laid out. You'd be like, okay, do you want A, B, C, D, or so, like
Yeah.
whichever. And you just pick and choose with what you feel comfortable with.
Well, and yeah, I think we're getting there. We're getting there, but that's definitely a project that I would tell people to really watch, because this year is going to be their year. I mean, they built right. They spent a year, uh, slowly building, bringing on projects, bringing on more partnerships, and building, bringing on more developers. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty big year to watch. And I'm excited because, you know, while they support all of the platforms or projects on their platform, they're DigiByte guys, from the start. I mean, Dean started with just handing out DigiByte flyers at the pub in like 2017, I think. And
Yeah.
now he has now he's a co-founder of an exchange. But I think that 2020 will be a year also that DigiByte will, kind of really start to rise in, I'm not going to say price, but I'm going to well, I hope it rises in price, but rise in recognition and rise in application, and along with Change Angel. So I think they're kind of like synergetically, they're pushing forward, and then all these other projects that we can work together with and push forward with them. So I always say that Change Angel's the anti-Libra.
Yeah. Yeah. It
That's the way I would
definitely is.
describe them.
It
It's the
definitely is.
anti-Libra.
Definitely is. And I also have like an announcement to make that I have been thinking about for the longest, and I really feel excited to share this with the community as a whole. But in addition to having all of the layers that's built on top of the DigiByte blockchain, I would somehow would like to incorporate the business model that I have put to the forefront of having businesses contact like members of the core team,
Mhm.
or members of anything that has to do with Digi-Id,
Mhm.
or anything that has to do with the payment sector, being, if they want to scale, if they want help with their businesses in any way, shape, or form, they could actually hit up the page, and there would be a section there where they could just have direct onboard to somebody that would help them directly, and
Well,
they could set up
I
consultations with that.
that's a great idea. And we are reorganizing we're reorganizing the DGBAT website. And part of that reorganization is, making those resources more readily available for people. And like you said, we really do need better onboarding for businesses. We just do. It's definitely a place that, we're lacking. But we're growing every day, and Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will we be. So, but it's definitely something that was being looked at. And we do have on our website, you can go in and you can ask questions. We do have tech support on the website. We do try to have that manned, 24 hours a day, because we're global. They've got, like, I think Jen asked me to do it, and I was like, I will not be tech support. I have to draw the line somewhere of things I cannot do. And it's not
Oh boy.
one of them. So we've got some really knowledgeable guys, though, that support that. So when someone comes in and they have a question, they can get that answered on the website. But we also have, support other places. But definitely business onboarding is something that needs to be worked on. And yeah, we definitely see, spots that need to be filled, and we're trying to fill them as we grow and see more, what is the priority. But point
Yeah.
of sale is real important. Point of sale
Yeah.
is real important.
Yeah,
And John
definitely.
Moore does an amazing job with that. I mean, he's been really inspirational to our whole community. He even piped in with some of the members of the core team to talk about, like, how does he do what he does. And he's got a really magnanimous personality, and that has to be, part of that boots on the ground. And a lot of our team, they're a little bit shyer, so it's a little harder
Yeah.
for them to just be like, they're not from New York, they're not from New Jersey, they're not like, yo, what you gonna pay with, there's that, it's a little
Yeah.
different. So not everybody has that, but we're getting more people who are more, comfortable doing that sort of thing. And we're getting more people who are more comfortable being on camera. And that's also an important, one of the reasons that John is so successful is that he's willing to, videotape himself literally anywhere,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
on the fly
John's a
and
man.
post it. Yeah.
John's a
And
man.
so he's very generous with his time, and I think he's very generous with his knowledge. So, but yeah, he's helping, he's definitely helped motivate us to become, more aware of what we need to do to be better.
Yeah, John is literally like a powerhouse in the payment system. He is like boots on the ground, get up and go kind of mentality. It's kind of like we kind of share the same aspect of
Yeah,
like
I could
work
see you
ethic.
too. Yeah, you two have a lot of similarities that I really appreciate. And I, the thing about John too is that I really trust him. I've met him in person a couple times. He came and spoke at our meetup, and there, it's hard to trust people. You got to really kind of get to know them face to face. And and I'm a judgmental shrew, man. I mean, I'm a tough nut to crack when it comes to, like, if I'm asking someone for information. I'm probably one of the most critical people, as far as, like, I'm annoyingly inquisitive. And so, for John, the thing I really like about him, I trust him in the fact that if I ask him a question he doesn't know the answer to, he won't just, like, make up an answer to look like he knows the answer. He would just be like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, I love that honesty that he has.
Yeah.
There's no ego involved in what he's doing at all.
Yeah,
And I think that's
definitely.
really important.
Yeah, definitely not. And it's like, and this one other individual also that has literally been crushing it in forms of like putting information out there and trying to help people with different ways to get involved in different areas of businesses, even like with coin flip ATMs and getting into different activities that are like meetup related is my buddy Jim Flanagan. He is really like he is so knowledgeable.
Isn't he the one who built the app for Litecoin?
Yes, he built the
Oh
Litecoin.
yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah,
That's
he
impressive.
he is like I seriously think that guy is being terribly underrated. He
Oh
is
yeah.
so incredibly smart.
Well,
So incredibly smart.
and I mean, building a tool like that what a gift.
He
What a
he
gift.
he is
That's a
beyond he is beyond talented, trust me. He really is.
Well, I hope I get to meet him face to face sometime. I know that Rebecca worked with him a lot, beta testing that app, and she just said she was like, he's just incredible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, my auntie is great. She's yeah, I know she's gonna be smiling her face off watching this video because it's the first thing I tell her in the morning and the last thing we say to each other at night. Because of course, I'm a part of the Litecoin East Coast team also,
mhm.
and we were actually out there in Vegas back in last October when we had the Litecoin Summit, and we all met up there for the first time, and it all seemed like one big family.
Yeah.
And everybody was there like, "Where's Laura?" And I was like, "Oh, she's not here. She didn't get the." And I was like, "Oh."
Well, I'm a single mom, so I don't travel far usually. But she's going to college this fall, so maybe I'll be traveling more.
Yeah, because it will be really really good to have you at the next summit, and even with Bitcoin Ben meetup that he's having in I think it's in Blanco, Texas or something like
In
that.
April, yeah.
Yeah,
We
I'm
we
trying to
were
get.
we were there last year. We had 2 booths there last year. We had one booth for Digi-Id, and then we had one for DigiByte because we just had so much going on. And Matthew had just finished the Digi-Id standalone app, so he flew down from Canada and came and
Wow,
hosted that booth with us. That was really a big deal. He went like 2 days with no sleep
wow,
just to come down and help us with that. So
that
it
is
was nice.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were looking into a couple of other things that even to set up like a 5K run for charity and all that stuff. And I even told them that I would fly out there and take part in it, just to help spread awareness and raise money for a good cause, and to show off a little bit of athleticism at the same time. It's
Well, you're
like,
like I used to be an athlete, and then crypto happened to me, and I haven't done a sit up in 2 years. So good
oh
for
my
you for
gosh.
keeping up.
Oh, you are crushing it with those push-ups, ma'am. You are talking like you are not a small fry.
Oh, I forgot about my push-ups.
Oh, I just totally refreshed your mind.
I forgot about my push-ups.
Look,
I tried to do 10 push-ups the other day, and I was like, "Oh, how far you've fallen, my dear." But
if
I'll
you
get back on it.
if you forgot, just whip out that asset. It's
Oh,
right there.
uh,
It's right there on the blockchain. You'll see it. It's that what you called it again? Is it that it's something that had to do with DigiByte, didn't it? It
what?
had something where it's like a challenge of
Oh,
like,
it was the Steam challenge. Sorry, it was.
oh yeah, that's what it was. That's what it
You're
was.
gonna make me. I wear mascara only when I have interviews, and I should have known better to not wear it with you because you have me laughing.
It was literally like, whenever you come on this show, you come to have fun.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Well,
always a good laugh.
this was yeah, this was a good conversation. How many minutes are we at now?
I think we are going close to an hour, or we
Wow,
probably broke that.
that went by fast.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. But it was such a pleasure having you on the show. And of course,
It's always so fun. Well, reach out to Ben when we hang out. I mean, hang up. I'll tell him. I'll be like, you need to go celebrate your birthday with Map to Success.
yeah,
I mean, that's a
definitely.
perfect name, right? I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like Change Angel basically has, the map, and we have all the success that it actually brought over the years.
oh, speaking of maps, they also have that they host a seed card map. So when
Yeah,
you drop a seed card,
yeah,
I
it
and I always
grows.
love when synchronization happens because they had gone. I think I was on Crypto Campfire. It was like a last minute thing. I went on their podcast and
Hmm.
I said something to them about Change Angel and they hadn't heard of them. I was like, you should really go check out these guys. And so they started talking and um, Kat had just started doing her seed cards and they kind of all
Hmm.
started, they're like, well, we could help you guys with that. And then they, were working on that initiative and I forgot who said it, but they were like, man, it would be so great if there was just like a map, you could just show that you've dropped a card somewhere. And the developer, Divion, had just, I think just a month earlier, was just messing around, just making something. And so they reached out to Divion and said, can you make this? And he was like, yeah, actually I have it made. I can just tweak it a little bit. And they had it done in a day, you know?
Wow, that is
And so it's just,
incredible.
but it was all, you know, it's kind of already, it was already started. So it was like the synchronization of concepts and boom, 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 when things happen and they line up. I don't believe
Yeah,
in coincidence.
yeah,
So I always
yeah,
believe in, you know, divine
exactly.
timing. So it's
Exactly,
kind of
because
cool.
yeah, because what is so crazy was I left a couple of seed cards at the airport in Vegas on my
Huh?
way back, and I plugged it into the Change Angel website, and anybody could actually go on there and look up where it was
Exactly.
and where where I dropped it at, and even here, like in my area, I dropped them all over the places. One of my favorite
I've
spots
got to
were the
be better
Wawas.
about it. I'm such a scatterbrain. Like I'm always in such a rush that you know, I
Oh,
don't drop them as much as I should. I drop them like when I'm, you know, what I remember is when I'm at dinner and I like go to pay the bill. I always leave one in the thing,
mhm.
but I'm really bad about. I
Oh
got to
yeah,
be
oh yeah,
better.
oh yeah. I take passion like to a next level by
Yeah, you
dropping
do.
them like right in the face of an ATM.
Yeah,
like it,
that's.
like
I like the coin. I like the coin star. No, yeah, the coin stars, the ones where you have like change that
uh-huh.
they, you know, you can buy Bitcoin. I think you can buy Bitcoin. Those I like dropping them there too. So, yeah, no, we got a lot going on, but these guys are incredibly supportive of initiatives for not just the DigiByte community, but for all the communities on their platform. And yeah, so if anybody hasn't checked them out, you definitely should.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And once again, guys, their anniversary is coming up on March 1st,
Yep.
so it will definitely be a party
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm gonna try and get everybody to do a little I'm gonna do a little, you know, like Twitter
Oh,
videos, like a happy
okay.
birthday video. And I was
Oh,
like, I think we should all, you know, anybody who's used them,
yeah.
I think we should all make a little, you know, tribute happy birthday video for them. And then maybe they can take those segments together and make a commercial out of them because
Oh yeah.
they still are a small startup, you know, they
Yeah.
still are lean.
Yeah,
And
and you know who they could actually get to do that? Anon Unlimited.
yeah, Amon's been he's kind of in and out. So because he actually did their first commercial.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was the one who did their commercial. So
Yeah, he is
um,
amazing.
yeah, so I know he's been really busy and but maybe I'll see if he's got time to do that. But he's really extremely talented too. So
Yeah.
but we'll get it done. But
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, it was such a pleasure having you on the
it
show today,
was
Laura.
fun. Thanks, sweetie.
It was so fun as always, and it will continue to be as long as we actually have this show
Woo,
go on.
woo.
It was so much information shared. Hopefully you guys could take it in slowly but surely. And any last thoughts to share with the audience before we go?
Um, I would just say, you know, if you're watching this, if you're interested in this technology, you know, don't be shy, get involved. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, what your skill set is. There is a place for it. There's a place that it can be implemented to help this if you're passionate about it. So, you know, reach out to the communities and see where you can plug yourself in and help.
Nice, nice. And as always, guys, it is Map to Success, and we are definitely bringing you the latest and greatest of cryptocurrency news and development that is currently at the beginning forefront, and it's just taking off like a rocket ship to the moon. So as always, we always take the show out with something unique, and it's 2020, so we're definitely going to switch it up a bit. So I'm going to have this new slogan where it says, it's 2020, don't lose the keys, unlock your dreams. It's Map to
I
Success.
like it.
And it's Laura Taylor, and we're definitely gonna be coming to you guys with a lot more innovative stuff as it unfolds.
Definitely.
So take care, guys. Peace. Have a good one. Stay safe. Stay cryptic. We're out.